Now we're going to have a presentation by the Oklahoma Department of Transportation about the upcoming road resurfacing project on Route 66. Some people know it as 2nd Street. And Route 77, some people know that as Broadway.
Good evening. I'm Trenton January. I'm the District 4 engineer with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it to talk to you guys about a project, an upcoming project that we have coming up in the city of Edmond. District 4 covers the Oklahoma City metro area, Oklahoma and Canadian counties, and also goes north all the way to Kansas line along I-35. So that's our whole district boundary area, but Edmond is included in our area. So as you can see on the screen up here, these are the project extents of the project. Starting there at I-35, heading west to Broadway, and then going south all the way to Comfort Drive.
You want a highlighter? Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So, like I said, the project, either way you want to start, we're starting here at just off of I-35 where that concrete section is, heading west towards Broadway along 2nd Street, and then heading south down here to Comfort Drive. This was a nearly $9 million resurfacing project designed to extend the life of the pavement and upgrade the driving conditions along US 77 Broadway, US 77 State Highway 66, and 2nd Street. The other thing this project does is you may see from time to time the department out there patching potholes, trying to keep it in a decent state of repair. This project will allow us where we're not having to shut down lanes during the middle of the day. It'll allow traffic to flow a lot easier, and it'll also give a better and smooth pavement through this highly traveled corridor. As I said, the work will take place on Broadway between the Edmond city limits and 2nd Street, and work on 2nd Street will occur between Broadway and Sooner Road just west of I-35. The work is scheduled we're expecting to start April 10th, depending on the weather, but that is the anticipated start date, and the completion is anticipated by the fall, again, all weather permitting. Work for this project will generally take place between 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. nightly to lessen the impact to motorists. So what that means is we're going to be working at night. There is one section that we are going to have a lane closure, which I'll get to a little bit later, but doing this work at night will lessen the impact to the traveling public and lessen the impact to all the businesses along the corridor. One thing I forgot to mention, Haskell Lemon is the prime contractor. They're here with us that will be doing the work. They have several different subs that will be working with them, but Haskell Lemon will be primarily doing most of the work. And I know I currently moved to Edmond, and I know they're doing some work around town, so you guys are familiar with the type of work that they do. There are several different components to the project. The first section that I'd like to talk about is kind of this teal area right here, just south of 15th on Broadway. There's that section on the very far right lane that is just concrete, just south of 15th. And what we're planning to do is we're planning to rip out all that concrete and replace it with asphalt, so we have a surface that is the same completely across. So we don't have concrete this lane, asphalt and asphalt. So what we're having to do is we're going to have to close that inside lane there to be able to rip it out. And the plan with that is we're going to do it in two different phases. And we're going to do it in two different phases to help with driveway access in that area. So we're not prohibiting, we're not making those closures longer than they need to be. So what we're looking to do on South Broadway, or on Broadway south of 15th Street, is work between the Sumo Restaurant and Home Depot. And this is, again, like I said, this is one of the few sections where you will see a daytime closure. But we're hoping to get in there and get it done as quickly as possible to keep that lane open. Later this spring, as I mentioned, we're starting over here in this concrete section where that I guess it's kind of a maroon area right there. I'm pointing at right there. What we're doing there is we're going to dowel bar, retrofit, and diamond grind that concrete. So what that means is we're going to be, currently it's very rough, and those panels have faulted, and they're, you hit that bump. Dun, 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 dun. So what we're going to go in there and do is we're going to go in there, and what a dowel bar retrofit is tie those panels together. And by tying those panels together, it helps when traffic drives over it, it moves as one unit instead of moving as separate units, and that's how you get the faulting. So once we put the dowel bar in there, tie those panels together, we'll come there and grind that surface to make it smoother. So that is another component of the project, is to smooth up that area right there where that concrete is. And then the last section, the last component of this project is on South Broadway and on 2nd Street, where we're going to be doing a 2-inch mill, removing the asphalt and placing new asphalt on through this entire section. We'll also be, at the end of the project, we'll restripe the project, and then we'll also end up, because we're having to mill through the intersections where our traffic loop sensors are, or the City of Edmond's traffic loop sensors are, we'll be replacing those as well. So the motorists, what they should expect is at night, they should expect lane shifts. There will also be intermittent on Broadway. There will be intermittent median closures that will need to take place, so we can get in there and repave that section as well. And we will work not to close several consecutive ones in a row, so you can easily go past the first one that may be closed and be able to get to your destination to turn back around or pull through to go the other direction. So those majority of the work will be done at night. All that work will be done at night. Again, the only one that'll be done during the day, a lane closure during the day, will be this section here, just south of 15th Street. It'll be a moving operation, and the contractor's going to work in segments to 1 to 2 miles at a time. So during the night, if you're out, you should expect some lower speeds within those work zones, because they're going to have 1 to 2 lanes closed, depending on which lane they're working in. If they're in the middle lane, they're going to have 2 lanes closed for safety. So just depending on where we are within the project, those are some of the things that you can expect. We've been working very close with the City of Edmond currently, and we will continue to work with the City of Edmond on our communication of what's going on with the project, where we are on the project. But as you wake up every morning, you're going to see where we've started and where we've ended. And I say we, I mean Haskell Lemon. You're going to see it every morning, where they've started, where they've gone. So you're going to see the progress every morning when you wake up. So that every morning, all the lanes, again, except for just south of 15th when we start work on that, and that's the first piece that we're going to do, will be open. So you'll have full access to everything, except maybe, again, like I said, a median opening, it may be closed. There'll be 1 or 2 median openings closed. And to get updates, again, we're going to work with the City of Edmond to make sure that we get those updates out. Or you can also go to our website, odot.org. Or if anybody has any questions, and the best way to get a hold of us is to email us at odotinfo@odot.org. And we will try to, we will get those emails through our communication group and address those questions as they come in. And as we move along through the project, Haskell Lemon does a good job of talking with business owners about what they can anticipate or what they expect to happen. Or again, you can reach out to us again to help answer those questions. We got a consultant on board, Tetra Tech, that's going to help us with the inspection as well. So they will be able to help us answer those questions. So we feel like we got a very good plan in place for this entire corridor to improve the pavement through Edmond. It's a very needed project. It's been needed for a while, and we're very excited to get this project done and completed, and working with the City of Edmond. That's kind of my rundown of the project itself, and I'd be open for any questions if anybody has any.
Just want to make sure, you said it's from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So at 6 a.m.,
they should be completely off
The
the road.
barrels are gone.
Barrels are gone.
Okay.
Because if they're not off the road, and Jay knows this, we start assigning lane rental assessments to them.
Okay.
So for every, however long they are on there still, if they have that lane closed, they get a lane rental put on them for not having that lane open by 6 a.m.
Very good, very good. Any other questions?
Thank you, Trenton.
Yes, sir. Did you have a question? Sure, because, come on up, introduce yourself so we can have the question real quick.
The only question I had was
Come on up, introduce yourself, and then we can have your question, please.
my name's Chip Moles. My question is, you got two pretty big intersections, 15th and Broadway and 33rd and Broadway. When you cut the sensors out, will the lights then be just on timer then? How will the lights operate?
So this, I'm going to speak for the city of Edmond, I guess. The city of Edmond also has video detection in those intersections as well, so we won't be interrupting any of the signals. That's again a project we've worked with the city of Edmond on. They put up video detection on all their signals, so it won't be interrupted as we go through those intersections.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Good.
Thanks for the update.
Excellent, sir.